just hit the button to record, Chris, so hopefully you have what you need to do what you need to do. And so friends, again, I'm Paul Lewis, I'm the assistant superintendent. I was just asked to facilitate today. And so I couldn't help myself, but so I created a note sheet for us because I felt like it would probably be helpful to have some organizational structure for this. And so in the chat box, I put a link to what I did. It is not perfect and it was fast. So I just thought I would do something. So Tina, did you open it? I mean, are you getting to it? Tanya, you don't know me very well, but this is my gig. So these are things that I do all the time. So that's kind of.
And we love you for it.
Thank you for that, Christy. And I actually have the pleasure of knowing everybody in the room except for you, Tanya. So I hope you will just go along with us here and
absolutely.
So what I did, and I will have to admit that my colleague Heather Lorenzo, when we were having before this meeting, other meeting for another topic, she did this template, so I stole it and then I modified it. So I put our names in here, and then I also put the mission because I felt like, at least for me, I'm more visual when I can look at it instead of having to look at multiple places. I do have some directions. So we do need to pick a note taker. So somebody who would be willing to take notes while we're all talking. And we also need a speaker for when we come back at 8:45. I know we all want to volunteer quickly. So anybody who, I'm ready. So who would like to do what?
I am happy to take notes. Can I take them in your beautiful document?
Yes, that was the hope.
All right.
So, Christy, thank you for taking notes. And
of
so
course.
now it's one of my other 4 new best friends here who's going to be the speaker.
See, the note taker doesn't have to present later. See what I did?
Listen, I'm the other way around. I could speak if I don't have to take notes. Yay!
And you don't have to read my handwriting because I'm typing. So this is like beautiful.
So what I did in the document, Christy, and I hope everyone can see it, is I just took a real fast screenshot of those characteristics of meaningful, effective mission statements, and then I put the directions about what the group activity was, and then there's a note section down below. Hope that makes sense to everybody. So I was just trying to be helpful. Obviously my goal is just to have everyone have voices and to encourage and to also participate. So that's kind of what my goal was. I wasn't necessarily meant to be the person in charge. I'm just helping us direct. I hope that's fair to everybody. Okay, so, let's just dig in. The group activity is, does this statement do those things that it's being asked to do, or do we feel like there's things that we want to change? Does it still meet the needs? I came to the district 5 years ago, I'll just bring you that, and this was old at that time. So it was not recently done 5 years ago. So I don't know when it was done. Maybe some of my friends here who've been here much longer than me know, but it is not a new thing for our district. Okay, I'm done talking. You start talking. What do you see?
Okay, I'll start. Not that I have strong opinions. I'm just going to go ahead and start, though. So I guess when I look at it, I mean, it looks pretty good to me. The only, if I was going to pick one thing, it might be like, maybe it needs some tweaking. So just, looking at it and kind of digesting it for the first time. I think it's fairly lofty and inspirational, but my only kind of top of the head quibbles might be, I'm not sure what prepared for life's opportunities necessarily means. And
so maybe some clarity about that term.
Yeah, and also then developing a lasting appreciation for learning. I would almost want that to be, I guess, loftier in terms of not appreciate learning, but like wanting to learn. That's just off the top of my head kind of reaction to it.
So I look at it from kind of an educator point of view. When it's outcome based, how are we going to measure those things?
Yeah.
That's how I was looking at it, that it is very broad.
Thank you, Jana. Tanya, I would say that I concur with you about some of the words need a little bit more meat or a little bit more understanding, because even that just last phrase, and remember, we're in a safe place, we're needing to share opinions, you know, that's kind of the reality of what this is. That those words of lasting appreciation for learning, I could have a lasting appreciation for all kinds of things, but I'm not participating.
Right.
I'm not directly involved with it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of it too. I can admire it. I can appreciate it. I can like it. I can do all those things, but I may not be doing it.
Right. Exactly. I feel, yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Right. Yep.
My other question would be is, how are we maximizing it? What does that mean to maximize?
Mm. Yep. I like the inclusion piece of all students. I think that is really important. So I'm glad it's there. I'm wondering if there's a way to even hit that harder, because I think, you know, one of the things that I personally feel strongly about is, you know, making sure that we are sort of student centric. And so, you know, is there a way to strengthen that and really, you know, make sure that truly, you know, we are talking about every single student in our district. So.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, and based on our conversations about what we appreciated in our education, I think is pointing towards more of a sense of community, and how kids can contribute to that as well. That's great. I feel like in terms of lofty goals, are we building our community builders is kind of where I'm hoping this might go more in terms of that inclusive statement that we're all there. And I still want it to point more towards that appreciation, but I know it's I feel like even 10, 15 years ago or whenever this was written, I'm still looking for that buzzword of lifelong learning to like kind of summarize this a little better, and be something more like, something more memorable in terms of being able to restate it.
Great. Did you specifically say building community builders as a potential phrase? I wanted to make sure I captured that. Yeah. Okay. Great. I just want to make sure it was in the notes. I really liked it.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think almost all of us have had a first blush. So did Irina, did you want to share anything? And I know, Mr. Vipon, that you were just coming back in. So you were doing other duties as well.
Well, I agree with much of what was said. I feel like it's very outdated, and therefore not very memorable. It just seems, for lack of a better term, very vanilla. It's just what you would expect a school to write, rather than really have something memorable and something that you could repeat back and know where it is, rather than doing a Google search to see what it is.
So maybe a little bit bolder or a little bit more pizzazz or something of any of those kind of terms that you were thinking.
Something. I don't feel like it has those powerful verbs.
Okay. So thank you for going back to those characteristics and such to do that. Chris, did you want to add anything?
I would agree. I like the word, right? The term bolder or bold kind of stuck out to me, and
Yeah.
it seems like, and then the powerful verbs and all of that. I agree.
So I'm going to take a turn, and then Tanya, I see it looked like you wanted to take another turn too.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to let people know in the group that both Christy and I serve on our district equity and inclusion committee. It's something that we both are very, very proud of. It's something that's important to us. I feel like we need something bolder in there also about that everyone means everybody, and we're taking everybody from where they come, and we're going to do our best. And that's not the words we want in there, but that's the feeling I want to have in there, that when we say all students, all means all, really, and of every diversity, equity topic. Christy, I'm not sure if you're knowing what I'm trying to say about that, but I think that's so important in our mission, that we are inclusive. We want everybody. We want everyone's voices at the table. We want all of those phrases.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot for me to spew out, but
I love that, Paul. And I would also say, like, we also want, I mean, if I think about all, I also think about like all teachers, all staff, all parents, you know, that idea of like, I mean, you know, not to be too cheesy, and I'm not even the world's hugest Cub fan, but like the whole idea of like everybody in.
Mhm.
I think, you know, there's a power in the community that we can, so it's all students, but it's also all community members that I really like.
so because we do want to create a place where the amazing teachers that we have love being there too, and are
Absolutely.
welcome and free and available to do all the important things that they do, with some curriculum guidelines. I got to throw that in because of my
Supported by a strong curriculum. How about that, Paul?
Tanya, I think you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, it was just something that just occurred to me. I mean, I really like the idea of making it bolder. And I think there's something around, you know, whether I'm not sure the right way to put it, you know, the diversity and inclusivity and everything, but I think it's all leading to, you know, being exceptional. And I mean, the whole reason my husband and I moved our kids to Grays Lake was because of the good schools. I mean, we were in Chicago, and it's like, okay, well, you know, where can we go that has really good schools? And so we were drawn to Grays Lake, but I think that could be something built into the mission statement about, you know, building exceptional people in some way. But I don't mean it like elitist, you know, I mean, like still everybody, you know, I don't know the right words to use, but really like building an exceptional kind of learning program that maximizes the potential of everyone, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
High caliber, high quality, high strong environments, all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
Your turn.
Sorry. So last year I was working with some parents at the Early Childhood Center, just kind of tweaking some of our things. And one of the terms that we used that we wanted to foster in our youngest students was to be socially inclusive learner, because the majority of our students are part of the special ed population. And so we wanted to be sure we included that as part of who we are, because we thought it was really important as we bring in, you know, our tuition students and other community peers, that, you know, we're all one family, and we wanted every family to feel welcome. And we have, I don't know, I can't put a number on it, but up to 15 different languages at any given time in our center. So it's really important to us for that inclusion factor.
That's great.
So I go back to that first line of the characteristics of meaningful and effective mission statements, and it says it should answer the question, why do we exist as an organization? So what's the product? What's the end goal for our students and for our teachers as they go through 9+ years, Jana. It can be 10 years, 11 years when they're with you, right? What's our end goal? What's the hope? I know we're not producing widgets, but what is the end?
That there is no end. That goes back to
Ooh.
that we are just the beginning of a long journey together. Here we go again together. Yeah. That we start something, that we, help them start something. And yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like building, like striving to be better personally and striving to be better community members and just striving to be more inclusive. I mean, just like striving to be better in all those ways.
I like all
So
those.
maybe we start almost with a slogan and kind of hone in on some of the things and use the mission statement to expand. So going off of Tanya's, we've heard it before. I don't know if it's officially a slogan, but strive for excellence. Maybe we start with something and then build on it and add the inclusivity and what are we striving for and kind of expand on that.
I
I have
love
a
all those.
question. I'm sorry, Paul, could I ask? So with a lot of that statement has to do with the students. Are we also looking for something that might include the families, the community? That's all being, shared stakeholders in all of this, partners.
I second that motion very strongly. Yes.
So when I think about striving for excellence or striving to be better, that's for everybody. As me and my job, that's also as a dad, that's also as a, I'm thinking about today, I'm thinking about Inauguration Day, about being informed citizens, ready to fully participate in world issues. And, all those things are really important. And while, yes, I know, I focus on my curriculum, but it's really to help us to get to all those other things too. It's just not the math, it's just not the reading, but it's all those other skills too that, we need problem solvers, we need critical thinkers, we need to be evaluate sources, we need, all those big things, which probably aren't going to be in a mission statement like this, but they might trickle into some of the other things, along the way too. You probably, Tanya, you don't know me. These are the things I talk about all the time. My other friends here, yeah, he's just talking again. It's the important things he always talks about.
No, I mean, I strongly agree with all of that. And it comes with, I think part of that is to, building empathy for other people as well. So it's critical thinking and empathy as well as, the regular math and reading and things like that.
Those life skills.
The life skills, yes, those are critical.
Yeah.
Some school districts have moved, especially when they have a high school, they've moved towards something like portrait of a graduate or, portrait of a informed person leaving our system, all those kind of things. And those things I think fit into all of those things too. Just because I'm timekeeper as well. It's 8:44. We got to go back in a minute.
Oh my goodness. How can I sum up all this amazing conversation? I had no idea this was going to be that hard.
We're so happy that it's you, Tina.
Hopefully at least you have some good notes.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Just
Very
read Christmas notes.
I'm definitely going to have to keep those side by side.
There you go.
I'm going to, a great, thank you, everybody.
And
I'm so
just gonna share-
excited. This is amazing. I'm so excited about what's going to come of this.
Thank you for this
Be part of the
wonderful group. So I really valued all of the sharing. And I was supposed to monitor that everyone was talking, everyone was doing a good job with that, all those kind of things. And so thank you for all of that.
Absolutely.
So any last suggestions for Tina as our wonderful spokesperson?
So I just want to make sure, like, we are definitely on the consensus that this can be updated. That
Yeah.
it's good for what it was, but it can be updated and
Absolutely.
be more powerful and be more memorable. That's
Mhm.
kind
Yeah.
of, yep. Okay.
I heard
Yep.
many of us use the word bold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think just that theme of like the community,
Mhm.
you know, and being outcomes based, like that we're building something. Those are the things that stood out to me. I love that idea of we're the first step on this journey. That really resonated with me.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Friends,
everybody.
it's time we have to go back.
Okay.
Thanks, group.
See you in the
Chris,
group.
I have to turn off, right?
Yes, I think so.
Good luck.
Thank you.